So the directions say that determine whether each pair is vertical, corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, or supplementary. Then write and solve an equation. So you should have used your notes because we wrote down all these relationships, right? That was on page 28 that I just had out. We wrote down all the relationships, whether they're congruent, whether they add up to 180, all the different things about them. So let's start by looking at these. What do you think these are? Are they vertical angles? No, guys, we're talking about the angles. Are these two angles, this right here and this right here, are those vertical angles? Boy, what's the definition of vertical angles? You don't know? Well, then let's look at page 19B, where it tells us what the definition of vertical angles is. Should have used my notebook. Opposite angles formed by the intersection of two lines. So those two are not vertical angles. Are they corresponding? Are they in the same spot? No. This is on top of the line. This is underneath the line. So they're not corresponding. Are they alternate interior?
No.
They're on the exterior, but are they alternate exterior? No, because they're not on opposite sides. So the only thing left is what? Supplementary. So let's write supplementary. And you had to label this. Now, what does supplementary mean? Add to equal 180. Good. Take a point if you said that. So that means we need to do 7x minus 30 plus 3x plus 30 equals what?
180.
What should we do from here?
Combine
like terms. So what is 7x plus 3x? What is negative 30 plus 30?
0.
And if we divide by 10, what does x equal?
80.
Okay. Now, do we only have to find x, or do we also have to find the angle measures? You have to find the angle measures. So, let's do 3 times 18 plus 30. What is 3 times 18, tater tots? And french fries and whatever you people are.
Whole potato.
And what's 54 plus 30? 84 degrees. So if this one is 84, what's the other one? Why did you get that?
96 plus 84.
Look at y'all go. Take a point. So, what would you color? You would color it green. You don't see an 18?
Are we supposed to color that whole top color green?
There's a bottle. Oh, right there. All
Right here?
I found it.
Yeah, I don't know how to color.
You don't know how to color? Is that what you just said?
I can't see inside the lines.
That's okay. This is a no judgment zone. Unless you say you can't do something, then it's a judgment zone.
Okay. Can I use this?
No. Markers in your tower. Alright, let's do number 2. Guys, we can color at the end. Let's do the math first. So number 2, what kind of angles are those? They're on the outside, right? Alternate exterior. Now, the reason they're alternate exterior is because they're on opposite sides of the transversal T, and they're on the outside of the parallel lines. So, what do we know about alternate exterior angles? They are what? They are congruent. Man, it's like we... Look at you go. So we say 5x plus 7 equals 145 minus x.
Am I smart yet?
Yes, baby, you are.
Can I do like 5 weeks?
Okay, now would we move x, show 'em. How would we move this negative x over here? We would add it. And would we subtract that 7?
Yes.
So we would get 6x equals what?
138.
And then what would we do?
Divide.
And what does x equal?
23.
Now, do we have to find the measure of the angles?
Yeah.
All right, what's 5 times 12? Ooh, it would have been easier to plug it into that other one. And you get 122. So can you work on this now without me?
Sure.
All right, work on it with your table. If you have any questions, we can talk about it. But I want you to work on the math and then color. If you're done and ready for your next assignment, let me know and I'll give you your next assignment.
When did you put your hair up?
Pardon?
When did you put your hair up?
Like 3 seconds ago.
I thought you were bald. Put your hair out like 3 seconds.
I just got so angry that I took scissors and just cut my hair off. Can't take anymore. Everybody look at number 3. What type of angles are number 3?
Vertical.
And what do we do with vertical angles? Okay, so you're going to subtract 2x, right? And you're going to get negative 1.5x. And you're going to subtract 75. And you're going to get negative 270, correct? And then you're going to divide it by negative 1.5, and x equals what? 180 degrees. Or no, 180, not degrees. Then what do you do with it from there? Plug it in. Plug it in. 1/2 times 180 plus 75. You are not afraid of fractions. You're not. You're just cutting it in half. What is the half of 180?
60.
Oh my stars. What is half of 180?
90.
And what's 90 plus 75?
165.
So if they're congruent, both of those are 165, right? You are not afraid. For the love of all things good and holy. I'm sorry? She is not afraid of fractions. She is going to persevere in the face of danger. We're not afraid of them. We're not. What are you going to do if I dress up like a fraction for Halloween and chase you around the
I
school?
will mind and die of a heart attack.
Look at you go.
If you do that, I'll get arrested by cardiac.
Alright, what y'all get for X on number 4? 8. Look at us go. Take a point.
You get 112 for the
You do. Good job. Take a point. Chastity, does that help, honey?
You made me cry.
I know. See.
Hold on. You're moving X over here? So yes, that would then be a negative. Sorry, I got excited. It would be negative 1/3 X. So then how would you get rid of that fraction? Or you could just multiply both sides by negative 3, right? Because fractions are what? What mathematical operation is a fraction? After a year of me saying this every day, you should know it.
What'd you say?
What mathematical operation is a fraction?
Division.
And so what's the opposite of division? So multiply both sides by negative 3.
I thought you said what, like, which one is it in the order of operations? I was like, I think.
How much I'm gonna be? This shit.
Where'd you get the negative 3?
This raspberry.
So X equals 40.
Because it's negative 1/3, so you can multiply by negative 3.
This raspberry.
Hey, I'm talking.
So how do I find the X?
Because this whole fraction is negative. So you can multiply by the reciprocal, which would just be negative 3, and kill it.
You multiplied everything by 3.
By negative 3, yep. Because we want to get rid of that negative and make it positive.
Where's the negative come from?
Because 2/3 minus 1 gives us negative 1/3.
Oh, so you went ahead. Right.
Yes. I just didn't write that
Could you
step.
multiply everything by 3?
You could multiply everything by 3 first, but you have to remember to distribute the 3.
How would I get the angle?
Yes.
Remember 8?
You can, you can copy that
It's
down.
not equaling out right.
For number 8, it's not equaling outright.
Yeah, it's giving me 10 and 4, 11.
Okay. What did you say, Justin? Are you still talking about?
Angle measure.
You would plug in 48.
Oh, yeah, Nick. Alright. My bad.
Okay. Okay, so those are corresponding angles, right?
Yes.
So you did 78 minus x equals 1/3 x plus 46, right? Drake, whatever you're doing, stop.
I kind of did that wrong. Hold on. Let's do it more time because I thought that was a 0.
I don't know what I'm gonna say. I mean, just go.
What? Which number? 7? Those are alternate interior. So it gives you that this angle is what?
7. Oh, 90.
90. So you could say complementary because they add up to equal 90, or you could say alternate interior.
Yeah, I still get it. Okay.
So you need me now? Okay, so you can do it 2 ways. You can multiply everything by 3 and get rid of that fraction, or you can just subtract 1/3 and move it over here. Okay, so let's pretend for a moment that we're not afraid of fractions, right? Okay, so if we're not afraid of fractions, we're going to subtract that 1/3. And we have, if we convert -1 to a fraction so that we have common denominators, that would be -3 divided by 3, correct? That's the same thing as -1. And we're subtracting 1/3 from it. So what's -3 minus 1?
2.
No.
Negative 2.
-3 minus 1. If you owe me $3 and you borrow 1 more, what do you get?
Negative 4.
Yeah. Good. So -4/3 x equals 46.
Okay.
Now what would you do?
I would subtract 78 from 46.
Yep, and you would get -4/3 x equals what? I don't have a calculator up here.
Negative 32.
Okay? Now what would you do?
Divided by negative 4.
Or you could just multiply by the reciprocal, but yes. Divide both sides by -4/3. And when you're putting in your calculator, you have to put that fraction in parentheses. So you would do -32 divided by parentheses -4/3. You should get 24.
Okay.
And if I'm...
Oh, what number 8 be?
What kind of angles would they be?
Yes.
Are they on the same side of the transversal?
Yes.
Are they in the same spot?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So that's corresponding.
Oh.
So one of your choices went on the same side.
Do you know what your choices are?
If you're on the same side, what are your choices?
Oh, I have.
Corresponding, what else? That's the one, the first one you did today, what was
So the
it?
corresponding, you said that
Oh, supplementary.
Supplementary.
And complementary.
See, you're right, but like.
Consecutive interior, yep.
Alright. I thought you talked to me.
No, he's talking to you. I don't know if you know this, but we both took geometry a long time ago.
That's a long time.
I feel like geometry is way different than what it was.
Same stuff out there, except they used
Yeah.
to spend more time on pots.
Yes, oh my gosh. You'd have to memorize all of those.
Yes.
We did so many more proofs. Bunch of babies.
On the same side.
And they're not. They're right beside each other. So what kind of angles do those make? No, baby, look at them. What do they make? Ignore everything else on this picture. What do those 2 angles make? A linear pair. And what does that mean they equal? So what are they? Look at you go. How you doing, Kenya? Not good? I feel like you're lying to me. I feel like you're fine. You're just... It is. But it's good.
I know how to do it. It's just so much.
So you have 8 plus x minus 128, right? Or a combination of that. If you wrote it differently, that's fine. But then you combine like terms. So x plus x gives you 2x. 8 minus 128 gives you negative 120 equals 180. Combine like terms. You can't combine that 8 and the x together because they're not like terms. Why did you just put that on my floor? There's a trash can at your table.
Oh my God, stop. Stop giving
Did you
me
do this?
that.
Alexis,
Stop
okay.
giving me
Did you
that.
divide? Stop. Throw it in the trash can. Did you divide both sides by 2? Or did you distribute? Okay, so then you got 2x minus 32 equals... What's 2 times 76? Thank you. Right? And then you added 2x to both sides, and you got 4x. And then you added 32, and you got 184. And then when you divided, what'd you get? Okay, so then from here, what's 46 minus 16? Nope, 46 minus 16.
30.
Is 30. And then multiply it by 2. You don't have to. You can do 46 minus 16 and then multiply it by 2. But even if you distribute, you'll still get 60 because it's just 30 times 2, not 30 plus 2.
So they get in the sheet or they?
Yes.